Hello everybody, welcome back. So I was having a tidy up weekend in the garden. Spent all day yesterday chopping up wood that we had left over from the big conifer trees that we took out. So that was all piled up down there in a tarp, under a tarp. So we've chopped all that up. So that over there is the start of next year's wood pile, and that is everything that we've got for this year. All this timber that's leaning up around the place, we've got to sort out now, get it back under cover or stored standing so that it doesn't sit and get soaking wet over the winter. That's just timber for future projects, whatever they may be. So I think what we're going to do is have a good tidy up in that area over there behind the shed, and make some room to get that stored away, and then that's leaving this upper area clearer for when we finish these retaining walls and we can level the ground off, etc. But for this year it's just going to be get it tidied up a bit, hack some of these weeds down, get those in the compost, just having a tidy up really for the winter. Got the potatoes to sort out as well. I dug up the other week. They're drying in the shed, so they need to be stored away, and I think later on we'll get the rhubarb harvested and whatever else needs to come out of the ground desperately. But for now, all of this area needs a really good tidy up so that we can get that timber down here. So as is always the way with these jobs, you make a start and you think there's just so much stuff that we've got to get rid of, and a lot of it really is just scrap. So I think what we're going to do is have a bonfire, small bonfire over there on that bed, burn some of these weeds off and get rid of some of this junk wood, make some room. That's one way to save doing the weeding. I have to keep damping down the edging boards. That one's on fire there on the right, and stop the garden going up. I'll tell you what guys, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. A lot more wood, scrap wood that we had to burn. There was some of the old floor joists out of the house that I cut out when I took the chimneys down and interior walls, and the formations out of those timbers to form the fireplaces, etc. in the rooms. So I did manage to do a bit of damage to the edge of my pathway, but it's not a big deal, it's only scrap wood. And also my polytunnel frame, but again, no biggie, it isn't going to cause a problem. So only a bit of scorching. I had to keep going around with a watering can and dousing everything on the edges, but a good job done, and that ash can be raked into the soil, etc. And it saved me a bit of weeding, hasn't it? So happy days. Time is now getting on, so I think I'm just going to get some rhubarb. That's the next job. So when harvesting rhubarb, I was always told to do it by grabbing the stems near the bottom and just pulling away so that you tear the stem off the crown. Don't cut it with a knife or secateurs, because that can then allow rot, which will go down into the crown and kill the plant. So I'm going to take pretty much all of this rhubarb, all of these big stems, and just leave the odd few that are still small and still growing, just so the plant can continue to grow naturally until it will naturally die back in the winter when the weather turns a lot colder. So that's what I'm going to do now. So this stem here near the bottom and pull, and that's come away from the crown nicely. That one's already rotted off, that'll go in the compost. And we've got 2 rhubarb plants. I'm only going to do this one, get this processed, probably use some of it straight away, some of it will get frozen, and then, because we're running out of freezer space, because we've been harvesting all the stuff, so do a bit at a time, and then it doesn't become a huge job in the kitchen where you're there for hours and hours. Look at that one. That's a nice bit of rhubarb, that is. That one's rotten. Take that one. That one. There we go. So these 4 leaves I'm going to leave and let that do its thing. Cover the crown up, and I shall clear up all these dead bits when I weed the whole bed. So I'm going to cut those off with a knife, get the leaves in the compost. This is going to be some tasty rhubarb. Now, it doesn't matter if the stems are red or green, apparently. It isn't an indication of whether the rhubarb's good to eat or not. I do like a rhubarb crumble. And there, some nice stems of rhubarb. Give them a wash, chop them up, freeze some, and make some nice desserts with the others. Okay guys, I'm running out of time. The day is disappearing and I need to wrap this video up. I think after yesterday on a chainsaw all day, humping wood around, we've been humping wood around again all day today and burning all that wood. Knackered, worn out, but this area now is much clearer. we've got all these old floorboards that I ripped out of the house. We're going to save those. They probably get turned into a chicken coop at some point, but we need Bob the builder to finish doing what he's got to do, certainly near our boundary, because they've damaged the boundary here, and the chances are they'll do the same over there, and I don't want to have chickens involved in that, so yeah, we'll have to see. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do, and follow us on our journey to become more self-sufficient. See you next time.